Your child's name was spoken in heaven tonight, and the sound of it shook the corridors of light in a way that made even the ancient guardians tremble, because what was revealed about your child's path was not something meant for ordinary ears. It was a message that carried urgency, a prophecy wrapped in warning, and I, Archangel Michael, have been sent to deliver it to you before the next sunrise. Because the truth you're about to hear will terrify you, shake you, awaken you, and protect your child in ways you never imagined necessary. Something tried to attach itself to your child's destiny, something dark, quiet, subtle, almost invisible, a shadow that stood behind your child when they were alone, a whisper that passed near their dreams, a presence that attempted to rewrite one chapter of their future without your awareness. But heaven saw it, in real time, in full clarity, and your child's guardian angel cried out for intervention. And that cry reached the throne before the danger could fully anchor itself. The name of your child echoed through heavenly halls tonight not because they are in danger, but because they carry a light the darkness desperately wants to dim, a purpose so powerful that the spiritual realm cannot remain silent any longer, because your child's future is tied to breakthroughs, healing, compassion, intelligence, and a level of influence that will affect more lives than you can count. But great destinies attract great opposition, and your child's energy has already begun drawing the attention of forces that do not want to see them rise into who they are becoming. There is someone around your child, or someone who gets near them, whose intentions are not as pure as they appear. They smile, they speak kindly, they pretend to support, but their heart harbors jealousy, resentment, or a hidden desire to manipulate your child's confidence, dreams, or emotions. And heaven has seen the invisible threads tied to this person, threads woven from envy and insecurity. And heaven is not willing to let this influence shape your child's life. Tonight, your child's name was spoken with urgency because the spiritual realm is trying to warn you. Pay attention to who comments on your child's success with hesitation, who gets uncomfortable when your child shines, who tries to limit their dreams, who corrects them harshly, who dismisses their abilities, who tries to plant seeds of doubt through jokes, who behaves differently when you're not in the room. These signs will reveal themselves so clearly now that you will no longer be able to ignore what you were once unsure of. But the danger is not only human, there is energy, fear, discouragement, self-doubt, emotional heaviness, that has been trying to attach itself to your child's spirit, especially during quiet moments or late-night hours, when your child feels sensitive, overwhelmed, or unexpectedly sad. These emotions are not random, they are signals, echoes of spiritual interference attempting to derail the confidence your child needs to unlock their future. But tonight, heaven declared this interference illegal. When your child's name was spoken, a decree was made: this one is marked. This one is chosen. This one is protected. And I was sent to you so the protection can extend into the physical world through your awareness. Your child has been carrying silent burdens, fears they don't express, confusions they hide behind smiles, questions they don't know how to articulate, moments where they feel something is wrong, but don't know why. They may have experienced sudden sadness, disrupted sleep, nightmares, anxiety, irritability, or moments of wanting isolation. Not because they are weak, but because heaven is heightening their sensitivity to prepare them for the calling ahead. Your child sees what others miss, feels what others ignore, hears what others overlook. This gift makes them powerful, but it also makes them vulnerable to energies that do not want them awakened. I need you to understand that heaven did not speak your child's name to frighten you, it was to alert you, to strengthen you, to position you, because your awareness is now the shield that will block what was trying to reach them. The next 7 days are crucial. You will notice patterns around your child that you once dismissed, a change in tone from someone near them, a moment of discomfort, an intuition that something feels off, a sudden hesitation in someone's behavior, a shift in your child's mood when a certain person enters the room, or a strange heaviness when they talk about a specific place, activity, or relationship. These will not be coincidences, they will be divine confirmations, heaven's way of showing you exactly where the threat attempted to enter. Do not panic, do not fear, do not overreact, simply observe. You will know the truth through clarity, not chaos. Your child's future is extraordinary, and that is precisely why the spiritual realm is being so loud tonight. There is a breakthrough coming for your child, a period of growth, talent activation, emotional healing, academic elevation, creativity, confidence, leadership, and the darkness tried to stop the transition before it could begin. It failed. But you must stay alert, because spiritual interference often returns in new forms, discouraging words from others, unexpected conflicts, emotional overwhelm, feelings of not being good enough, sudden misdirection or distraction, or people trying to influence your child's decisions. Heaven is assigning you the role of spiritual guardian during this season. You will protect your child not through fear, but through wisdom, awareness, intuition, and presence. You will become the anchor that keeps their path clear. Listen to your instincts. When something feels wrong, it is. When someone feels off, they are. When your child behaves differently around someone, believe their energy before believing anyone's excuses. Your child may not tell you everything directly, but their spirit shows everything. Watch the way their eyes shift, the way their shoulders tense, the way their voice changes, the way they cling to you, the way they stay silent, the way they withdraw after spending time with a specific person or in a specific environment. These signs are sacred signals. Heaven is amplifying them for you. And now I reveal the part that may shake you. Your child was meant to experience something in the coming weeks that would have redirected their emotional path, either through a moment of betrayal, a harsh comment, a manipulative influence, a traumatic misunderstanding, or an unexpected emotional wound. But heaven intervened tonight before the chain reaction could begin. The mention of your child's name was a rescue call. What was meant to break them is being dismantled before it reaches them. What was meant to confuse them is being blocked. What was meant to harm them is being reversed. But you must play your part, speak protection over your child, keep their environment pure, remove toxic influences quietly, build their confidence intentionally, watch their energy closely, encourage their gifts, and do not let anyone with hidden jealousy stay too close. Your child is stepping into the season where their identity strengthens, their gifts awaken, and their destiny accelerates. The darkness is terrified of what your child will become, but heaven is more determined than ever to ensure they rise. Your child is not just loved, they are chosen, marked, guarded by forces you cannot see, and tonight, heaven made it known. No weapon, no person, no shadow, no energy, no interference will touch this child's destiny. Walk forward without fear. Heaven is watching. Heaven is revealing. Heaven is fighting. And heaven is protecting your child in ways you are only beginning to understand. Your child's name echoed again in the higher realms after the first decree, not in fear this time, but in urgency, because once heaven blocks an attack, the darkness begins searching for weaker openings, smaller cracks, tiny emotional wounds it can slip through, and that is why I must reveal what comes next. In the next phase, the enemy will not approach your child directly. It will try to move through subtle emotions, unexpected discouragement, sudden insecurity, strange discomfort, or overwhelming confusion, the kind that makes your child question themselves in moments they used to feel confident, because the darkness only needs one moment of vulnerability to plant a seed of doubt that grows silently over time. But heaven is exposing this strategy now so you can recognize it instantly. Your child may wake up one day feeling unusually sensitive, clingier, quieter, or more withdrawn, and they may not have the words to explain why. Trust me when I say this is not random, this is spiritual interference bouncing off the shield heaven placed around them, and while it cannot enter, it still tries to intimidate from the outside, the way thunder shakes windows without ever stepping into the room. You may also notice sudden disagreements, emotional outbursts, or moments of frustration that seem out of character. These are not signs of weakness but signs of spiritual awakening, because children with powerful futures often react strongly to invisible pressure. They feel what others cannot feel. And now I must warn you about a specific pattern. There will be a person who suddenly takes more interest in your child, either through over-involvement, unnecessary attention, unsolicited opinions, or emotional manipulation disguised as concern. And while this person may appear harmless or even helpful, heaven is urging you to watch them closely. Observe the way your child's energy changes around them. Observe the way this person behaves when your child succeeds. Observe the tone they use when your child expresses dreams or ideas, because the darkness often hides behind familiar faces, and jealousy often wears a smile. Heaven showed me a moment where your child will sense something is wrong before you do. They may pull away from someone, avoid eye contact, suddenly not want to go somewhere, or grow quiet after interacting with a certain person. Do not ignore these signs, because children are spiritually sensitive long before they are emotionally articulate. The danger that was planned has shifted forms. It is no longer aiming to harm your child externally, it is now attempting to discourage them internally, because a dimmed spirit is easier to control than a harmed body. But heaven is 2 steps ahead. Tonight, when your child's name was spoken for the second time, protection expanded around them like a barrier of light stretching across every area of their life: school, friendships, activities, digital spaces, emotional spaces, and the darkness was forced to retreat. But retreat does not mean surrender, it means it is searching for another door, another moment of weakness, another emotional crack where doubt can be planted. And that is why heaven is strengthening you now, because your discernment is the shield that completes your child's armor. Over the next days, you will feel a strong instinct to make certain decisions, changing routines, limiting certain interactions, watching more closely, asking specific questions, or keeping your child closer than usual. These instincts are not fear, they are divine nudges, heaven moving your spirit before your mind understands the reason. Follow them, even if you cannot fully explain them. And now hear this clearly: there is something great forming in your child's future, a breakthrough, a talent, a calling, something bright enough to shift atmospheres, something powerful enough to heal others, something destined enough to attract both admiration and opposition. Your child is not ordinary, their spirit shines too loudly for darkness to ignore, and that is why the enemy is trying to intercept them early, before they grow into the threat they are meant to be. But heaven is not allowing it. Your child's guardian angel is standing with a drawn sword, and every attempt to influence their mind, distract their destiny, or weaken their confidence is being blocked in real time, but you must reinforce this protection with awareness, intention, and presence. Do not dismiss sudden worries about your child as overthinking. Heaven often speaks to parents through concern. Do not dismiss your child's sudden discomfort around certain people as shyness. Children sense spirits before personalities. Do not dismiss your intuition as paranoia. Your spirit is hearing warnings before danger fully appears. Your child's name has been spoken again and again tonight as a declaration. They are needed, they are chosen, they are protected, and no shadow will determine their path. Something powerful is coming for your child, not harm, but purpose, and the darkness is terrified of what your child is about to become. Stay watchful, stay present, stay spiritually awake, because heaven is partnering with you now. Your child is rising, and the forces that once tried to touch their destiny are already trembling. Your child's name rose again in the higher realm, not softly, not gently, but with the force of a spiritual alarm, because what is approaching their path is not a moment, it is a shift, and shifts attract both light and darkness at the same time. I must tell you this plainly. Your child is being positioned for something that will change the trajectory of their life, something that expands their gifts, sharpens their identity, and activates a purpose that has been sleeping inside them since birth. But as this awakening begins, the darkness grows desperate, because once your child enters this season of clarity and confidence, the enemy will lose every chance it once had to sabotage their destiny. This is why you may start noticing unusual behavior around your child, people suddenly growing overly curious, asking intrusive questions, inserting themselves into decisions, trying to influence your child's emotions or choices subtly. Watch carefully, because manipulation rarely enters loudly, it enters smoothly, disguised as advice, disguised as concern, disguised as friendship, disguised as harmless guidance. And heaven is urging you not to overlook the small shifts in someone's tone, facial expressions, or interest level whenever your child is mentioned. You must also be aware that your child will begin feeling things they cannot explain, moments of restlessness, sudden inspiration, unexpected fear, strange dreams, or bursts of emotional sensitivity. This is not instability, it is spiritual tuning, because children chosen for great callings often experience inner storms before their breakthrough arrives, and while it may look like confusion on the outside, it is actually calibration on the inside. Heaven showed me something specific. There is a place your child will go, a school, a room, a group, a conversation, where a spiritual shift will be triggered. This place carries both opportunity and danger depending on who stands near them at that moment, and that is why heaven is pushing you to be more observant, more present, more intuitive than ever. The next time your child hesitates before leaving the house, pay attention. The next time your child tells you they don't like someone but can't explain why, believe them. The next time your child withdraws after interacting with someone, do not ignore the energy, they are sensing something deeper than words. Your child's spirit is trying to warn you ahead of time, and heaven is backing their intuition with divine confirmation. And now I must reveal something heavier. A jealous spirit has been moving near your child, not to harm them physically but to weaken their confidence, to make them minimize their own gifts, to make them feel less than, in environments where they should feel powerful, and this spirit operates through people who project their own insecurities onto your child. You will recognize this through comments that seem small but sting deeply, remarks that undermine your child's abilities, moments where someone makes your child question their worth, their intelligence, their talents, or their future. This influence is subtle but poisonous, and heaven has seen it forming long before you noticed it. But hear me, your child is not unprotected. Tonight, when their name echoed through the realms, their guardian angels formed a circle that the darkness cannot penetrate, and I have been commanded to stand beside them until the threat dissolves completely. But you must take your position as well. Your words have power, your presence has weight, your awareness is a weapon. Build your child with confidence daily, tell them who they are, remind them what they can do, speak life over their gifts, counter any negativity they have absorbed, because children do not always express when they are hurting, but they carry wounds silently. Heaven is strengthening you so you can strengthen them. And now I unveil something you have not seen. Your child is about to outgrow an old version of themselves, an identity shaped by fear, by confusion, by comparison, by other people's opinions, and this growth will be fast, so fast that those around them who are not aligned with their destiny will react with discomfort, resistance, or envy. This is a sign, not a setback. When your child begins rising, those who were attached to their old self will not recognize them anymore, and this is necessary, because elevation demands separation. Soon your child will show signs of newfound boldness. They will speak differently, walk differently, think differently, create differently, and heaven will guide them toward people who see their brilliance and support their growth. But before that alignment comes the final wave of interference. There will be attempts to distract your child emotionally, pull them into unnecessary conflicts, confuse their direction, or lower their self-esteem right before their breakthrough. But none of these attempts will succeed, not when you are alert, not when heaven is watching, not when their name has been spoken on the altar of protection 3 times in one night. Something powerful is forming, something your child was born to do, and heaven will not allow anything, anyone, or any energy to derail it. Watch closely now, because the signs will appear quickly. Your child is stepping into their destined identity, and nothing can stop what heaven has already begun.